Welcome back to the nerdy channel. Anyway, uh, so hello. Today, I wanted to talk about my work with a substance called Fadogia agrestis. It's something another Andrew Huberman compound that I was interested in. I wanted to see what its effects would be like. I've taken it for about 4 weeks, and I now have more updated blood work for it to give you an idea of what it may or may not be able to do for you. So, without further ado, let's get to that blood work, yo. So, just starting out with the first page here. As you can see, um, not a dramatic impact on any of these metrics. White blood cell count went up a little bit, and my T4/3 went up a little bit. I don't know if that's a direct result of the Hyphodosia or not. Um, TSH stayed relatively the same as well. Um, Everything here has stayed relatively the same, if not slightly went down in a lot of instances. And you'll even see the only thing, and then I would ignore my glucose here because I realized I didn't fast as long as I did for the previous test. And when I get to the A1C, you'll see that my blood sugar or actually got a little bit better. Um, I think I figured out why my creatinine is so high. So I'm going to do this test on a Monday when I haven't taken creatine for a couple of days to see if that makes any significant difference in this creatinine number. But I do take a pre-workout that has creatinine, and I read that when you take creatine, that it can affect your creatinine and your bun and make them elevated. So I'm curious as to if that'll change my kidney metrics. I'm going to do my next blood work on a Monday and see if that brings this number down to within reference range or not. More, stay tuned for that. But ultimately, that's not why we're here. We're here for what are them testosterone numbers going to be like. So, it's not on this page yet, but again, more. My EGFR was 80, now it's 70 again. But my bun to creatinine ratio actually went down. So, and my AST and ALT are slightly higher. So I don't know if that's the Fadogia or not. Could be. So it's something to keep an eye on if you're taking this. But you'll also note that my cholesterol numbers, actually my ratio got a little bit better while I've been taking Fadogia. You see my cholesterol total is 166 instead of 174. My HDL is like the littlest bit lower, but my LDL actually dropped a decent amount, and my ratio got a little lower. You'll see my A1C went down a little bit, and then my DHEA went down a little bit. And I'll touch upon that later about what I'm thinking of doing. But I just wanted to note that. And now what you're all looking for is them testosterone numbers. So this 672 was based off of taking Tangat Ali, and before that it was around 600 without the Tangat Ali or the Fadogia. Now, keep in mind, this is Fadogia only. I was not taking Tongat during the last 4 weeks. So this 784 number, which is about a 30% boost in my natural testosterone or my total testosterone numbers, that was all the Fadogia. So with this, like, I was very surprised. I only got a 10% bump from Tongat, but I got a 30% boost from Fadogia agrestis, and my FSH, LH are both a little bit higher, which is good. My prolactin is also higher. I'm going to take a little bit more in order to get that number down because it's gone up quite a bit. Estradiol stayed the same, so my estrogen didn't really change. Um, PSA is the same. My IGF went down a little bit, but then look, my free testosterone also, like, that's like a 30% jump from my last one where it was only around 8. Now it's up to 10.2. And then my progesterone numbers also went up to zero point 0.4. So it got me up into the upper end of the progesterone range as well. So promising for me. I don't know if it's going to work for everybody, but um, you know, from what you could see from just the numbers, that like my everything's gone up in a positive direction and without affecting my lipids and everything like that in any significant manner. And then finally, just again, I'm not entirely certain how to get ferritin lower. So if you do know how to get ferritin lower, please leave a comment in below. For this kind of comment, hit the like button, get this video out there so people could see learn more about this compound. And another thing that dropped a little bit, and again, I don't know if this is the Fadogia doing this or it's because I haven't been dieting for quite some time. I haven't been dieting for about 5, 6 months, but my SHBG this is probably the lowest I've ever seen it test ever, except for when, yeah, actually, yeah, this is pretty much the lowest I've ever seen it. And it's been as high as 80. So 50 for me is much, much, much lower than, and for me, I'm assuming that's going in a positive direction. I'm hoping to see this in the 30s and 40s, not in the 50s. So I'm going to also keep an eye on that. So ultimately, uh, I feel better on I have felt better on the Fadogia. Uh, I did gain a little bit more libido, and everything like that. Perform a little bit better. I, in terms of like sexual stuff. So overall I think Fadogia is definitely a good natural test booster from what I can see, and I didn't really have any negative side effects, unlike the Tongat, which I got like heartburn and I got a little bit of anxiety, things like that. Tongat, I just took it and I felt better. I was training harder. I put on, I haven't really changed my diet. For a month I stayed the same weight, and then I took the Fadogia, and my weight went up by like 4 pounds, and which looks like I'm guessing pretty much all lean mass because I don't know if it's water weight or if I put on some tissue. I'm not sure, but instead of sitting around 235 or 234, I was sitting around 238 for the past 4 weeks. So it definitely increased my intracellular water, at least, and makes me feel fuller, makes me feel stronger. So, I like it as a compound. Um, and, I would say, take this with a grain of salt because, everyone's going to react differently, but I reacted very positively to it. And based on the fact that the sales of Fadogia is going through the roof, it seems like it's catching on, for lack of a better term. So now what I'm going to do is try Tongat Ali and Fadogia together. Now another thing that I'm going to do, because I've also heard that there is some linkages between in people in their 30s and 40s between DHEA supplementation and free testosterone as well. So I'm also going to add some DHEA in there as well to see, if I can get that free test number up a little bit, even higher than it already is, because, more free test circulating in your system hopefully will increase lean mass and also muscle accrual, recovery, etc. So that's what I'm going to try now is Tongat Ali, Fadogia, and I'm also going to add DHEA in there to see if I can get that free test number up a little bit, and then I will get blood work and report back to you about it. But overall, my experience with Fadogia was better than Tongat, didn't have any of the side effects, and feeling a little bit stronger, recovering a little bit faster, everything like that. So I like it as a compound, So if you like what you hear, you want to find out more about my journey through trying to boost my testosterone naturally, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and definitely comment below because I got to get it through that YouTube algorithm, yo.